Today, I want to share with you a simple but life-changing secret to mastering English: listening. Now, I know some of you might think, listening? That sounds boring. But let me show you why listening is not only exciting, but also the ultimate key to becoming fluent in English. Imagine being able to understand English conversations effortlessly, enjoy movies without subtitles, or follow podcasts without constantly pausing to catch up. Listening is the most natural way to get there. It's not just about hearing words. It's about training your brain to think in English, understand accents, and pick up the rhythm of the language. Listening is like having a personal English coach available anytime, anywhere. Whether you're tuning into a podcast, watching a TV show, or listening to songs, every moment helps you absorb vocabulary, understand grammar and context, and learn how native speakers communicate. The best part? You're learning without even realizing it. It's fun, engaging, and feels effortless. Let's say you listen to a podcast about travel. Without trying too hard, you'll learn how to describe places, express excitement, and talk about experiences. Words like explore, adventure, or hidden gem will naturally stick with you, making your own conversations more colorful and authentic. One magical thing about listening is how it sharpens your pronunciation and speaking skills. When you listen to native speakers, your brain starts to pick up on the subtle sounds, tones, and patterns of English. Over time, you'll notice that your own pronunciation improves, and you'll start speaking more confidently, without hesitation. That here's the real secret. The more you listen, the more natural English becomes. Instead of translating from your native language, you'll start to think directly in English. For example, imagine listening to a story about someone's funny experience at a restaurant. You'll laugh, understand the story, and even remember how they described it, without needing to translate each word. When it's your turn to share a similar experience, you'll naturally use the same expressions. Listening also builds your vocabulary in an exciting way. Think about how many new words you hear in a single podcast or movie. When you hear phrases in context, they make sense immediately. For example, if someone says, "I was blown away by the view," you instantly understand that they were amazed. These phrases stick with you and make your own English sound more natural. One of the best things about listening is how it connects you to real-life English. Textbooks might teach you, "How do you do?" But when you listen to native speakers, you'll hear phrases like, "What's up?" or "How's it going?" By exposing yourself to these real-world expressions, you'll sound less formal and more like a natural English speaker. Start improving your English through listening. You don't need to spend hours each day. Just 10 to 15 minutes of focused listening can make a big difference. Pick something you enjoy: a podcast, an audiobook, a YouTube channel, or even your favorite TV show. The key is consistency. Over time, you'll notice that understanding English becomes easier and speaking it feels more natural. That if you're wondering where to start, try listening to materials that match your level. For beginners, children's audiobooks or podcasts with simple English are a great choice. As you improve, challenge yourself with more complex content like interviews, documentaries, or even stand-up comedy. Finally, remember that listening isn't just about learning English. It's about enjoying the process. When you listen to something you love, whether it's a story, a song, or a fascinating podcast, you're not only improving your English, but also having fun. So put on those headphones, dive into the world of English, and let listening take you to fluency faster than you ever imagined. Listening doesn't stop at just helping you understand English. It transforms every part of your learning journey. Here's how it ties into your overall mastery. 1. Listening improves your speaking confidence. One of the biggest barriers to speaking English is fear. Fear of making mistakes or not being understood. Listening regularly breaks down this barrier. By hearing real conversations, you absorb the natural flow of English. Over time, you'll start using the same patterns and phrases without overthinking. For example, if you listen to people saying, "I'm not sure about that," or "Can you explain it again?" in different situations, you'll know exactly how to use these phrases the next time you're in a conversation. Listening makes speaking feel effortless and natural, like you've been doing it your whole life. 2. Listening strengthens your grammar without memorizing rules. Grammar can feel overwhelming when you try to learn it from books. But when you listen to English, you naturally absorb how sentences are structured without even realizing it. For instance, you'll hear sentences like, "I've been waiting for hours," and your brain will recognize how native speakers use the present perfect tense. This invisible learning is far more effective than memorizing grammar rules because you see grammar in action. 3. Listening sharpens your ears for accents and pronunciation. English isn't spoken the same way everywhere. There are countless accents, speeds, and tones. Regular listening exposes you to these variations, helping your ears get used to them. Soon, you'll find it easier to understand British speakers in a movie, an American host on a podcast, or even a friend with an Australian accent. That to improve your own pronunciation, try repeating what you hear. For example, listen to a short sentence from a podcast, pause it, and say it aloud. This is called shadowing, and it's a powerful way to train your mouth to mimic the way native speakers talk. For listening helps you think in English. One of the ultimate goals of learning English is to stop translating from your native language. Listening speeds up this process. When you immerse yourself in English audio, your brain starts to connect meaning directly to the words, skipping the translation step. Over time, you'll notice that your thoughts naturally form in English, making conversations much smoother. Imagine this. You're listening to a story about someone's road trip, and the speaker says, "The view was breathtaking." Your brain doesn't stop to translate. Instead, it immediately paints a picture of a stunning landscape. This kind of instant understanding is what leads to true fluency. 5. Listening makes you a better reader and writer. Listening and reading go hand in hand. The more you listen, the more familiar you become with how English words and sentences sound. This helps when you're reading, as you can hear the sentences in your mind. Similarly, your listening practice helps you write more naturally because you already know how native speakers phrase things. For example, if you listen to someone say, "I'm looking forward to it," you'll remember to use this phrase in your writing instead of something awkward like, "I wait it with hope." How to get started with listening practice. If you're wondering where to begin, here are a few ideas. 1. Podcasts. Choose ones that match your interests, whether it's technology, travel, or storytelling. Many podcasts are designed for English learners, making them easier to understand. 2. Audiobooks. Start with short, simple stories or books you've already read in your native language. Hearing the words in English while knowing the story helps you connect the dots faster. Point 3. Movies and TV shows. Watch with subtitles at first, but try turning them off for short sections to test your understanding. Pay attention to how the characters speak, not just what they say. Point 4. Songs. Listen to your favorite English songs and look up the lyrics. Singing along is not only fun, but also great for improving pronunciation. Point 5. Everyday listening. Make English part of your daily life. Listen to directions on your GPS in English, watch short videos online, or even change the language settings on your phone. Consistency is key. Remember, the goal isn't to listen for hours every day. Even 15 to 20 minutes of focused listening can have a huge impact if you do it consistently. Make it a habit, perhaps during your commute, while exercising, or right before bed. Listening is your gateway to fluency. In the end, listening isn't just a tool, it's a bridge to fluency. It connects you to the rhythm, sound, and flow of English. It helps you understand others, express yourself confidently, and truly enjoy the language. So, grab your headphones, dive into the world of English audio, and watch your skills grow faster than you ever imagined.